Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a cubic deck profile. So this deck is really fun and really fast. I highly recommend you guys definitely try this out. It came out in the movie pack Dark Side of Dimensions, and they actually announced that they're going to be doing another one of those that they're reprinting in, I believe, a third time, where they did a regular ultra rare set, they did a gold rare set, and I believe now they're going to be doing a secret rare set of the Dark Side Dimensions, which is kind of crazy that they've reprinted the set 3 times. I think that's the most they've ever reprinted a set as its original reprinting, which is kind of crazy. But before we get into this, guys, I really quickly want to give a shout out to my buddy Lane, or Reaper the Dark Clown. He actually built this deck. This was one of the first decks he built when getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually helped him build this deck. So I really quickly want to give a shout out to him. And I really enjoy going over to playing at Mythics with him, and I really enjoy having the live duels of his build, which is very close to my build, but I actually found a secret tech that I want to show off in this video. So without further ado, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord. So basically, this is the OTK maker of the deck. It cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon from your hand by revealing 3 cubic cards in your hand. And then after you reveal the 3 cubic cards in your hand, you get to special summon this card, but you can only special summon this card once per turn, which is kind of not that big of a deal. Or actually, I believe you can only use this effect. No, you can special summon this card as many times as you want. So if you have multiple ones in your hand, you can special summon multiple ones. It's unaffected by monster effects whose original attack is 3,000 or less, and when this attacking card destroys an opponent's final battle, you can activate this effect and attack again in a row. During the end phase, each player takes 3,000, but only once per turn that you take the 3,000. So if you have multiple Crimson Novas on the field, you and your opponent only take 3,000 total. Then I play 3 copies of Duza, the Meteor Cubic Vessel. So Duza basically is a Foolish Burial when it's normal summon. It sends cubic cards from your deck to the graveyard. And basically the one that you're going to want to send all the time is Cubic Karma, because you're going to want to get the effect of Cubic Karma by banishing it as like a Emergency Call or a Rhoda. It essentially lets you add a cubic card from your deck to your hand, which is always going to be Crimson Nova. Then we play 3 copies of Yugioh, the Cubic Seed. Yugioh is really good in the deck because it cannot be short of battle, and at the end of the damage step, if this card battle an opponent's monster, you can place the card in your spell and trap card zone as a continued spell, and if you do, you place a cubic counter on your opponent's monster. Monsters with cubic counters cannot attack, also their effects are negated. If this card is treated as a continuous spell during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your spell and trap card zone to your side of the field, which is really good to have that additional ability to get your cubics back. Then we play some brick cards in the deck, but we need them for the names. And then as 1 copy of Buster Gunneal, the Cubic Behemoth. You need 1 copy of Buster Gunneal because it is definitely a brick. There is ways that you can actually summon Buster Gunneal in the deck, and it becomes a 3k body that can attack, I believe, 3 times. And it's an OTK maker, but it's kind of a brick. The one that we don't summon is Endora Doom Volt Cubic Emperor. We never summon this, but it is a brick. This one's kind of like a Garnet. This one's kind of like not quite a Garnet. You can summon this one. This is like drawing Brilliant Fusion and having the Garnet in the hand. 1 copy of Garandala, the Cubic King. This one just does 800 burn damage, but it can be special summoned, and this one's actually pretty easy to summon out. But these are the only ones that I play that are the brick ones. I don't play Blade Garuda or Dark Garunix anymore, and I don't play the other one that everybody used to play, the 2nd level up from, I believe it was Endora Doom. One of the 2 of them, I don't remember, but I don't play those anymore. Then I play for my own little personal text. That's it for the cubics. I play Time Lords in here as well because these are both level 10s. You can go into level 10 plays. Sation, Mykion, and Raphion. These are all burn cards, and if you do not have like Duza in hand or your Yugioh, these are extra normal summons for you that if you need them, they're there. And the Time Lords basically stall for you a little bit and do burn damage as well. Like Mykion halves your opponent's life points. Sation's a big body that can, deal 2k to your opponent. And then Raphion, when it battles, it inflicts damage to your opponent equal to the attack of 1 monster your opponent controls, which is pretty good. And then for the other monsters that we play 3 copies of Summoner Monk to get Duza out of deck as quickly as possible, because you want to get the Duzas out of the deck so you can just instantly go into, Crimson Nova as quickly as possible. And then 3 copies of Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom's really good in the deck to be able to, hand trap your opponent and prevent them from doing stuff that's in their deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. And I highly recommend that you do play the Summoner Monk, because I am doing something that's a personal tech that I will show you guys a quick little combo that you can OTK your opponent out of nowhere. And it's pretty consistent if you get Summoner Monk and Duza. Or you just get Summoner Monk in hand, you can OTK your opponent like crazy. And it is something that I do a lot in my deck profiles, if you guys do remember and do watch a lot of them. And you guys can go ahead and comment and tell me what it is down in the comments down below what it is. So we're going to start Guess That Tech right now, and you guys are going to know what it is. But we're going to be playing 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave just prevents our opponent from hand trapping us. So for that little tech that I'm playing that you guys always know that I play, it's 1 copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is really good in the deck because you can go something like this. You go Summoner Monk effect to send to the graveyard any of your spell cards that you have in your deck, but usually you're going to want to send Cubic Karma to get your ability off to get a search. So let's say I send Cubic Karma from my hand to my graveyard, ideally. Then I can special summon something like Duza. Duza's effect will then activate, sending a second Cubic Karma from my deck to the graveyard. Or it can send something like Unification to the graveyard. But let's say I send my second copy of Cubic Karma to the graveyard. I then take these 2 monsters and overlay them into Utopia Double. And then I have 2 searches and 2 Utopia Double, or have a Utopia Double on the field to be able to get into my other plays. So speaking of my Cubic Karmas, I am going to be playing 3 copies of Cubic Karma. Cubic Karma is really good in the deck because basically when you activate it, you get to target a Cubic monster you control, except a VJOM, and send any number of VJOMs from your deck to the graveyard, and then it gains 800 attack for every 1 sent. But it also has the ability, if it's in your graveyard, you can banish it to the grave to add a Cubic spell or trap directly from your deck to your hand. Then we play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods. Foolish Burial Goods is basically here to send your Cubic Karmas to the graveyard as quickly as possible. Yes, it is once per turn, but you need to get your Cubic Karmas, your Cubic Unifications, or Unification of the Cubic Lords and Wave to the graveyard so you can OTK your opponent as quickly as possible. This deck is such an OTK-based deck. 1 copy of Reasoning. Reasoning, your opponent calls a level, and as long as they don't call 4, you're okay. If they call 4, it doesn't really matter because you do have the VJOM that you can special summon, but there's so few monsters in the deck that you can actually hit with this and actually special summon them. You're going to be sending a lot of stuff to graveyard. What's funny is when you actually hit the Ash Blossoms. That's fun. That's just funny, is when you hit the Ash Blossoms and your opponent's like, wait, what? I almost want to play Ghost Ogre in here because Ghost Ogre can activate from field. Then I play 2 copies of Twin Twister because we don't want to deal with back row in this deck. Cubic Wave is the last spell that I play, and this card's a big OTK maker in the deck, like every other card in the deck. You basically target a Cubic monster and a card your opponent controls and double your monster's attack and half your opponent's attack. So you can make your Crimson Nova go up to 6,000 that can attack twice. That's pretty much all it does. It also has an ability where you can banish from the graveyard and then target any number of cubic monsters in the grave, and then target face-up monster your opponent controls equal to the number of banished cubic monsters, and then put cubic counters on them, which is good and all, but you're never really going to use that. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing a couple of traps in here. We're going to be playing 3 copies of Unification of the Cubic Lords. I absolutely love the artwork of this card. Basically, it's used to fusion summon out your Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord, or Crimson Nova Trinity. Basically, you never do that. What you're going to do with it is you banish from the graveyard to special summon a level 4 or lower cubic monster from your deck to your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, if a face-up cubic card is destroyed by battle and leaves the field. Which is pretty good, because if you have a Duza on field and the Duza goes away, these stack and you can banish 3 of them, and it ignores their summoning conditions, which can summon something like Buster Gunneal or something like that directly onto your side of the field to use as materials for a Link summon or an XYZ summon. So that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Crimson Nova, which Crimson Nova is rarely ever summoned, but I play it because it is an option. If you do have the Unification set, it is style points to be able to summon this. And sometimes you play against people, then you just summon this, and it's like, yeah, I win because I summon this, and it takes 3 Crimson Novas, and you can't get past it. So then we play the Utopia double package, which is a single Utopia double and Utopia, which you just use with Summoner Monk and Duza to summon this, and it's extremely easy to go into. You basically just go Utopia double, detach, add double or nothing, go Utopia, 5k attack when it's summoned on top of Utopia double, swing, negate attack, drop double or nothing, swing again, 10k, and you win. Utopia, Utopia Prime, and Utopia the Lightning, because this allows you to go into Utopia the Lightning into this route. So you have 2 routes that you can go with this card. You either go Utopia the Lightning and attack twice for 5,000, 2 different times, or you go into Utopia double and attack 1 time for 10,000. Then I play another kind of rank up style effect, and that's Gustav Max, Juggernaut, Superdora, and Juggernaut Libby. The reason I play these is because you can go double Crimson Nova or a Time Lord and Crimson Nova into these and OTK your opponent extremely easy, especially if you don't want to burn yourself. You can overlay into these instead of burning yourself with Crimson Nova. For the rank 4s that I play an Exciton Knight just to blow a board, Tornado Dragon to pop spells and traps, Baguska to just switch everything to defense position and stall them until I get what I need. Phoenix and Cerberus are the only Link monsters I play besides Linkuriboh, just to pop spells and traps and to pop monsters. And then Linkuriboh is for VJOM, because you can normal summon VJOM and go into Linkuriboh if you need to. But you're never going to need... I take in this deck my XYZ monsters or my Link monsters one at a time. This is pretty much utility. I'm going to summon like just this, just these 2, or just these. Like, I'm never going to have multiple monsters that are in my extra deck on the field at once. So it's not that big of a deal to summon, to have that and not have that many Link monsters. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a lot of fun to be able to play with this deck. The Cubic deck is super budget because it's been reprinted so many times and it's off the radar, but it just is requiring like 1 or 2 really good support cards to make this deck really meta. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.